Good day, my name is Bluesuit and today I'll be going over my review of the story-driven Cowboy Bebop-inspired mature visual novelesque mech RPG known as Wolfstride. In Wolfstride you play as Dominic Shade, the mysterious slimy bad boy turned giant mecha fight manager as you raise money to organize fights and vicariously control huge mechanical robots in over-the-top turn-based battles for cold hard real dollars. Along the way, you'll meet some of the most colorful black and white characters you've ever met, while unlocking Shade's past and discovering what it takes to master the illustrious Ultimate Golden God Tournament. As the game begins, Shade, along with his gruff mechanic Duke, and the enthusiastic pilot known as Knife Leopard, have finally saved up just enough to enter the world of mech fighting. And so began the many surprises that Wolfstride had in store for me. Most notably is in how story-driven the game really is. Wolfstride definitely has its fair share of overblown, obnoxious characters and moments, but more often than not I found myself completely mystified and entertained by its immature and creative writing, from the long list of dog-related humor to the little fighting robot named Peepoo, who's so filled with rage but remains the only character unable to curse. This initial shock comedy from the first few chapters segues well into a well-told and engaging story by the mid-game and beyond. What surprised me about all this was how it really felt like the gameplay takes a back seat for the first few chapters, and Wolfstride really feels more like a visual novel with the rare occasional fight sprinkled in. In fact, it probably wasn't until the 4 or 5 hour mark before I was really let off the leash a little more to get into the mech fighter mechanics that I was promised. Beyond his shrouded backstory, Shade pretty much takes care of everything around the mech hangar, from raising money, procuring parts and new abilities for the team's mech, and helping the townsfolk of Rain City. Every day when you wake up, you'll have tasks that you need to accomplish to progress the story, as well as free time to chat with the local citizens, find some secrets around town, or even engage in some random battles for cash. Once you've earned enough, you can purchase new parts from the scrapyard or learn new skills from Peepoo, your team's personal trainer. I was surprised how many different parts there are to pick up and how expensive everything was as well. Especially in the early game, money is hard to come by. And even in the first couple chapters, the only way you're gonna earn decent money is by doing the same delivery minigame over and over again. It seems like this exists to discourage players from grinding money to buy the best gear available, but there's just something in me that will always suffer through an RPG grind to have the best stuff. So I played that 2-minute minigame at least 50 times until my mech was ready to two-shot any opponent willing to fight it. In addition, there are all sorts of different abilities you can purchase for your mechs as well that can be enhanced based on what gear you've bought and equipped. For example, some gear will make your long-range attacks do more damage, or you can become tankier or even heal yourself in battle more often. And better still is that after every story fight, more gear and abilities get unlocked for you to purchase. You do, however, have to keep some money for backup though, because story fights will do actual damage to your mech that you'll need to pay to fix on your off days. Virtual battles, however, which unlock later on, allow you to pit your mech against other bots without damage, and you can still earn money and rewards. I was really on the fence about Wolfstride until I unlocked the virtual battles, because up until this point, the game is about 90% dialogue. Certainly not a bad thing, but even though I like the story, the mech battles are really where the fun's at. Once you have your mech built and you get yourself into a fight, you have action points and movement points based on your equipped gear. The bar at the bottom of the screen represents the physical layout of the arena, with certain positions having damage modifiers on them. This, coupled with all the short, medium, and long range attacks you can potentially equip, forces you to tactfully position yourself based on your mech and your movement. Personally, my favorite build was to use my high mobility to shove the enemy into their corner so I could do tons of bonus damage and take them out before they had time to build up a defense. This build was weaker against high defense mechs who could withstand my initial onslaught, but it was great against range mechs who could only get off one shot before needing to reload, at which point they were usually disabled. On top of these gameplay elements, there was just something really satisfying about the animations of these bots that made fights not only tactfully engaging, but also just felt satisfying to connect a blow or destroy an enemy mecha's limb. You can pick up Wolfstride when it launches today, December 7th, 2021 for $15. It's got an engaging story that hooks you in on bathroom humor and keeps you around for self-discovery and troubled pasts, with a cast of memorable characters, a great visual art style, and wonderful sound design. Admittedly, it does take its time in getting ramped up and really letting you live out your turn-based mech fantasies, but once you're there, fights are fun and plentiful. There are a few gripes that I could list about the annoying mini-games or the excessive running back and forth, or the fact that there aren't resolution settings beyond 1080p, but honestly at the price tag it doesn't even seem worth talking about because it's still such a great value due to the length and quality of the main campaign and the satisfying and addicting gameplay loop of building, fighting, and repairing these mechs. So I'm valuing Wolfstride at $21, and I'd highly recommend it if you're interested in an over-the-top anime RPG that's equal parts story and battles. I hope you enjoyed this review of Wolfstride. Come see me on Twitch where you can watch our reviews in progress. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you thought about it. Until next time.